Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day so far, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. I wanted to go ahead and tell you that this is the last video for the summer, but don't worry, there will be much more coming this fall. So just keep rewatching the videos that have already been posted. This will be the video number 17. So you've got 17 videos that you can go back and watch in your spare time. For our last video, I wanted to touch on something that a few of you had expressed that you wanted to learn, and that is learning your parents' phone numbers and making plans with a friend. So we are going to talk about why is it important to learn your parents' phone numbers, how can you learn your parents' phone numbers, ways that you can learn your parents' phone numbers, and how to call a friend and make a plan. Those are the 4 things that we are going to look at in today's video. All right, so let's get started. First, I want to talk about why it is important to learn your parents' numbers. So most people would say, why do I need to learn their phone numbers when I have a cell phone that has their numbers saved in it? Well, there's multiple times where you might need to call your parents and you don't have access to your phone, such as in an emergency. If there is ever an emergency, you might not have your phone with you. If you were ever in an accident or if you were lost, you would need to know your parents' phone numbers because, like I said, you wouldn't have access to your phone most likely. So this is why it's important to learn their numbers, and it's just good to know in general. How can you learn your parents' phone numbers? Here are some ways to help you learn. Let's look at number 1, flashcards. One of my favorite ways to learn something that really works well for me is using flashcards. All throughout school, even now, sometimes I have to make flashcards when I'm trying to remember something or I want to study something. So the same thing goes with trying to learn your parents' phone numbers. You can put their numbers on little cards, and no, these are not my real mom and dad's phone numbers, so don't try and call them, but you just put them on little flashcards and then you can study and practice them, okay? So that's one way that you can learn your parents' phone numbers. Let's take a look at number 2, write it. Another way that I like to try and remember things is by writing them down. And when I say writing them down, I mean you just write your parents' phone numbers down. You can do it in big numbers. That will help you to make the connection with not only your hand movements, but with your brain as well. It'll help you to remember those things. So you can grab a piece of paper, or if you have a whiteboard with some markers, you can do it on there as well. And just try to write your parents' phone numbers a couple of times and read them. And maybe even as you are writing the numbers, so let's say that their number starts with 256, you can write 2 and say it out loud, 5, write it out loud or say it out loud, and 6. And so with each number, you can read it out loud, and then when you finish it, you can read the entire number out loud. This will help you with your remembering, and eventually, if you keep practicing, you will be able to remember your parents' phone numbers in no time. Now let's look at number 3, repeat it. Another way for you to learn your parents' phone numbers is through repetition or repeating the number over and over and over again. One way that you could do this is by writing it multiple times. You can also read it out loud multiple times and read it with your own eyes. That will help you to get the repetition, and you'll get it repeated over and over again, and it'll become easier for you to learn. Why is it important for you to make your own plans? Guys, it is so important for you to learn to make your own plans. I don't call my parents and ask them when I want to make plans. I am an adult, you are an adult, so we need to learn to make our own plans. Honestly, my mom and dad would get very annoyed if I kept calling them saying, hey, can I go hang out with this person? Or, hey, can I go to the mall? They would be like, Lakin, what are you doing? Like, you are 23 years old, you can make your own plans. So when you make your own plans, it gives you a sense of being independent. And that's what we want to do. We want to become more independent adults. How to call a friend and make plans. Let's take a look now at how to make plans with someone and how to call them to make the plans. I have given you some step-by-steps, and I will talk about those now. All right, let's start with step 1. Choose a friend to call. Obviously, you need to know who you want to call to make a plan. So don't just randomly go through your phone numbers and just start calling people. You need to know who you want to call. Step 2 is find their phone number. Maybe it's saved in your phone under their name, or maybe you have to ask your parents or someone else what their phone number is, but you try to find their phone number. Step 3. Look at your calendar before calling to make a plan. You need to know, what your calendar looks like. If you've got any appointments coming up that you wouldn't be able to hang out with them during that time, you need to know what's on your schedule and what you have going on during the week. Step 4 is have a couple of days and times in mind that you are available. This will make it a lot easier when you're trying to actually plan a day, because you will already have the days and times that you are able to hang out. Step 5 is dial your friend's number and hit the call button. This obviously is an important step because you have to actually call them to make a plan. Step 6 is when they answer, ask if they would like to make plans to hang out. And don't get your feelings hurt if they say, now's not a good time, or I'm really busy. People do have other things going on in their lives, and you don't need to get too upset if somebody says that they can't hang out. Step 7. If your friend does say that they would like to hang out, ask your friend what days and times they are available to hang out. Step 8. If they are not sure what days that they are free, try suggesting some of the days and the times that you chose before you even called them and see if they are available then. Step 9. After you plan a day and a time, you will plan an activity to do with them when you are hanging out. Some ideas for this time, when we are trying to social distance and everything like that, it may be a good idea to ask if they'd like to meet at the park. And you guys could take a walk around the park, or maybe meet up and grab something to eat and go have a picnic at a park. That would be good too. You can always invite them over to your house to have a movie day or to play some games. These are just a few ideas that I'm giving you to try and be safe and social distance. Step 10. When you have an activity planned with your friend, you are all set to hang up the phone with them. Step 11 is very important. Now you must plan your transportation, or who will be taking you to hang out. I suggest obviously asking your parents first. You can ask your siblings, or your friends' parents or siblings might also be able to pick you up and drop you off so that you can hang out. And lastly, step 12. When you plan your transportation, you can add the event to your calendar. It's always important to add anything to your calendar or your schedule so that you don't forget. I know that this has been what I have to do, because if I don't put it on my calendar, I am probably going to forget it. So I always put everything in my calendar. So my challenge for you today, and until I see you the next time, is to learn your parents' phone numbers without having to look at a piece of paper or anything. I want you to try and call a friend and make your own plans. And I also want you to go back and review those videos that have been posted from this summer. So there's 17 videos. Feel free to go back and watch whichever ones that you want, or maybe some that you don't remember. Those would be good for you to go back and watch. Here is a video checklist from all of the summer videos that have been posted. Like I said, there are 17, so feel free to go back and watch each one in order, and then you can keep track of which ones you've watched. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week and have a great weekend. I'll see you guys soon.